There comes a time in your life when you must confront the mirror and ask the one question that changes everything. Why not me? Why not now? Why not my breakthrough? Why not my season? Why not my miracle? We spend so much time disqualifying ourselves, shrinking back, second, guessing, and waiting for permission to rise. But destiny does not wait for validation. It doesn't knock politely on the door of the insecure. Destiny breaks through the walls of doubt and screams into your soul. You were made for more. I need you to hear me not with your ears, but with your spirit. You were not born to blend in. You were not designed to disappear. You were not created to simply exist. You are here to dominate, to influence, to shake the earth with the weight of your purpose. So, let me ask you again, and this time, answer from the depth of your being, why not you? Success isn't about luck. It's not about being born into privilege or catching the right opportunity at the right time. Success is about recognition. Not recognition from others, but recognizing who you are, what's inside of you, and what God placed in you before the foundations of the world. See, you've been carrying treasure in your earthen vessel, but you've let fear and failure put locks on your potential. You've been waiting on the world to approve what heaven already anointed. That stops today. The truth about success is this: it's not a path you walk, it's a person you become, and that person is already inside you. Buried beneath excuses, silenced by insecurities, chained by what people said or didn't say, but I declare it's time to break free. You will not die full of unspoken dreams and unused gifts. You will not leave this world with your song unsung. The world doesn't need another imitation. The world needs you fully alive, fully aware, and fully unleashed. Let me speak to the lie that's kept you bound, the lie that says you're too old, too young, too broken, too inexperienced, too late. The lie that says success belongs to them, the educated, the wealthy, the connected. That's a lie straight from the pit, designed to keep you stuck in a prison you were never meant to live in. Do you not know that some of the most powerful people in history came from the dirt, came from pain, came from rejection? Your struggle is not your disqualification, it is your preparation. The things you thought disqualified you have actually qualified you. The tears you cried, the storms you survived, the heartbreaks you endured, they didn't come to kill you. They came to carve you. They came to shape the kind of vessel success can pour into. You've got oil inside you, and pressure reveals it. Don't curse the pressure, thank God for it, because it is proof that there's something worth pressing for. Now let's talk about vision. If you can't see it, you can't seize it. You will never walk into a future you can't imagine. Your vision is your permission. When God gives you a glimpse of what's possible, He's not teasing you, He's inviting you. That dream wasn't a mistake. That passion wasn't random. That idea that won't let you sleep, that's destiny knocking, and it won't stop until you answer. You've got to stop dimming your light because people around you prefer the dark. You've got to stop shrinking your dream to make others comfortable. You are not arrogant for wanting more. You are not selfish for desiring impact. You are not delusional for believing the impossible. You were meant to break limits. You were born to defy odds. You were called to shift atmospheres. You've got to believe in your own future louder than the doubts that try to drown it out. And let's be real, success will cost you. It will cost you comfort. It will cost you complacency. It will cost you the luxury of blaming others. You cannot conquer what you refuse to confront. Success is not given, it's fought for, it's bled for, it's cried for, and the truth is, the battlefield of success is in your mind. That's where the war is won or lost. Before you ever build the business, write the book, launch the ministry, or start the movement, you've got to win the war in your thoughts. You've got to silence the voice that says, "What if I fail?" and answer back, "But what if I fly?" You've got to stop negotiating with the enemy and start decreeing who you are. You've got to stop rehearsing your history and start declaring your destiny. Because if you keep focusing on who you were, you'll never become who you're meant to be. 111,111. Too many people wake up every day already defeated, not because life has beaten them down, but because their mindset tells them they're not enough. They've been trained to see greatness in others, but never in themselves. They applaud the victories of others while silently questioning if they'll ever taste their own. But let me tell you something, your worth is not up for debate. You were born with value. You came into this world already stamped with significance. Every breath in your lungs is evidence that you are a walking miracle, a living answer to a problem in the earth. You are not an accident. You are not random. You are not extra. You are essential. You were designed by intention, and that intention carries divine purpose. So why do you keep disqualifying yourself from the very thing you were created to walk in? Why do you silence your dreams when the world is starving for the sound of your voice? You've let fear talk you out of your future. You've let insecurity steal your ideas. You've let comparison convince you that success is reserved for someone else. But the truth is, the same God who placed greatness in them placed greatness in you. The difference isn't in your capacity, it's in your confidence. And confidence doesn't come from applause, it comes from awareness. When you know who you are, you stop begging for permission to be what you were born to be. You don't need another sign. You don't need more credentials. You don't need everyone to agree with you. All you need is to decide right here, right now, that you are worthy of the success you desire. Worthy of abundance, worthy of healing, worthy of influence, worthy of legacy. When you believe you are worthy, you stop chasing things that were already yours. You start walking like someone who belongs at the table. You stop settling for crumbs when the feast was made with you in mind. You stop seeing success as a distant dream and start treating it like your rightful inheritance, because it is. There is power in rejecting the lie that says you have to wait until you're perfect to be powerful. You will never feel ready. You will never have every piece in place. But success does not require perfection. It requires movement. It requires belief. It requires boldness in the face of fear. You can't keep talking yourself out of what you were meant to walk into. It's time to stop making excuses and start making decisions. The kind of decisions that shift atmospheres. The kind of decisions that interrupt generational cycles. You don't need to be flawless. You just need to be faithful to what's inside you. Because once you understand your worth, you begin to unlock the courage to act on your calling. You start showing up differently. You speak with authority. You move with clarity. You expect more, demand more, and become more. And when you do, you stop asking, "Why me?" and you start declaring, "Why not me?" because you realize that success doesn't ask for someone better. It's been waiting on someone willing. Let's talk about that willingness, because the moment you say yes to your purpose, everything begins to change. Success doesn't start when the check clears, when the platform arrives, or when the world claps for you. Success starts in the invisible spaces, in the private moments where you confront your reflection and believe that what's inside of you is enough. You've been taught to chase validation, to wait for approval, to seek the spotlight. But the truth about success is this: it doesn't come from the outside in, it comes from the inside out. It's not something you earn, it's something you uncover. Until you recognize the value that's been buried inside you, you'll keep walking past the very thing that was designed to elevate your life. The gold is not in the ground, the gold is in you. Too many people are praying for breakthroughs while ignoring what's already been placed in their hands. You keep asking for signs, but you are the sign. You keep asking for favor, but the favor is already flowing. It just needs a vessel that's aware. You've been divinely equipped with gifts, insight, perspective, and power. But the problem is you don't see it, and what you cannot see you cannot steward. You keep calling yourself average when heaven calls you exceptional. You keep saying, I don't have what it takes, when everything you need is already embedded in your design. You don't need to become someone else, you need to wake up to who you already are. 222,222,222. Let me say this plainly. The world cannot celebrate what you continue to conceal. You've got answers locked inside your soul that people are praying for. You've got ideas that can change industries. You've got wisdom forged in the fire of your pain. But if you don't recognize it, you'll sit on your power while the world waits for your permission to rise. There's a version of you that's bold, courageous, strategic, creative, but it only comes alive when you stop seeing yourself as a mistake and start honoring yourself as a masterpiece. Self-recognition is the key that unlocks every door you're waiting to walk through. And make no mistake, self-recognition is not arrogance. It's not ego. It's not pride. It's alignment. It's agreement with heaven's perspective. When you see yourself through the lens of truth, everything shifts. You start investing differently. You start speaking differently. You carry yourself like someone who's not just surviving, but called. When you recognize the treasure within, you stop selling yourself at discount prices. You stop shrinking to fit in. You stop running from opportunity. You realize that you were never waiting on a platform. The platform has been waiting on you. Because once you awaken to what's in you, you begin to walk like someone who belongs in rooms you used to be intimidated by. You stop second guessing and start stewarding. You start building instead of begging. You become a magnet for possibility because success is attracted to self-awareness. So let's take it deeper now that you know the treasure is inside you. What's stopping you from using it? We've been conditioned to think that struggle is a sign of failure, that if life hurts, something must be wrong. But let me flip that perspective for you. Your struggle is not a punishment, it's a preparation. Every tear you cried, every setback you endured, every closed door and broken road, it was shaping something in you that comfort never could. You don't come out of the fire weaker. You come out forged, stronger, sharper, wiser. Life doesn't certify people with ease, it qualifies them through adversity. If you've been through something and you're still standing, you're not behind, you're ready. The pain didn't come to destroy you. It came to develop you. It came to reveal what you didn't know you had: grit, faith, resilience, endurance. See, success without struggle breeds entitlement. But success after struggle births character. And character is what keeps you standing when applause fades. Anybody can smile when things go right. But if you've learned how to smile in the storm, you've got something money can't buy. That storm taught you more than any classroom ever could. That valley gave you vision. That wilderness gave you wisdom. Your scars are not signs of defeat. They are the evidence that you fought battles and won. And yet, some of you are still hiding your wound. You're ashamed of your past. You think your story disqualifies you from purpose. But the very thing you've been trying to bury is the thing God wants to use. Your history is someone else's roadmap. Your breakthrough is someone else's blueprint. Don't you know that some of the most powerful voices were born out of the deepest pain? You didn't go through all that to sit in silence. You didn't survive that season just to blend in. What you've endured qualifies you to speak, to lead, to change lives not in spite of your struggle, but because of it. 3,333,333,333. What makes you effective is not your perfection, it's your process. The people who change the world are not those who pretend to have it all together, but those who have been through the fire and came out with truth in their hands. You have walked through things that others are only just stepping into. And when you speak, you carry authority, not because you read about it, but because you lived it. That authority is what shifts rooms. That testimony is what breaks chains. You've been tested, now it's time to teach. You've been broken, now it's time to build. Don't let the pain be wasted. Turn it into purpose, and that purpose, it's calling you to rise, to stop apologizing for your process and start embracing it as part of your power. The people who change lives are not those who escaped struggle, but those who transformed through it. So the question isn't whether you've been through enough, it's whether you're ready to use what you've been through. Because the moment you do, struggle becomes strategy, and your story becomes the seed of your success. Now let's talk about vision, because what you see next will determine what you step into next. Everything you will ever become begins with what you are willing to see. Before your hands ever touch it, your heart has to believe it. Vision is the birthplace of victory. It's the preview of your destiny. If you can't see it in your spirit, you'll never seize it in your life. This is why the enemy doesn't have to destroy you, he just has to blind you. Because a person without vision becomes a prisoner to the present. They get stuck in what is and never tap into what could be. You've got to protect your vision like it's sacred, because it is. Your future is not waiting on circumstances to change, it's waiting on your eyes to open. See, that dream you keep pushing aside, that vision you keep doubting. It's not just imagination, it's invitation. You're not crazy for dreaming bigger. You're not out of line for wanting more. That desire in your heart is not random, it's divine. Vision is heaven whispering, this is possible for you. Vision is God's way of giving you permission to walk in places your family never went, to build things that have never been built, to become something your environment never showed you. You're not dreaming too big, you're just seeing beyond the boundaries that were set by small minds and broken systems. But here's the truth. Vision without movement is just a fantasy. You've got to work the vision. Speak the vision, walk in the direction of the vision. You don't need to know how it will happen, you just need to know that it must. Vision demands sacrifice. Vision will cost you your comfort, your complacency, and sometimes even your company. Everyone can't go where you're going because not everyone sees what you see. Stop explaining your vision to people who don't have the capacity to carry it. Your clarity is not their responsibility. It's your responsibility to guard it, feed it, and act on it. And don't get discouraged if your current situation looks nothing like your vision. That's not a sign to give up, it's a sign to dig deeper. Every great achievement looked impossible at first. The seed never looks like the tree, but the tree is already in the seed. That glimpse of your future was given to you to carry you through the dirt, the dark, and the drought. If you hold on to the vision, it will guide you through confusion. It will anchor you through storms. It will remind you that what you see with your eyes is temporary, but what you see with your spirit is eternal. 444,444,444, and once your eyes are fixed on the vision, your posture begins to change. You start showing up differently. You start walking in rooms like you belong because you've already seen yourself there. Vision fuels confidence. It breathes life into discipline. It gives meaning to every sacrifice. And the moment you commit to that vision, you'll feel a divine push pulling you into places you once thought were unreachable. But to walk in that next level of vision, you've got to stop shrinking to fit in, and that brings us to one of the greatest barriers to success, playing small to make others feel comfortable. There comes a moment in every journey when you must decide, will you be liked or will you be authentic? Because sometimes standing tall in your calling will make small people uncomfortable. Your growth exposes their stagnation. Your boldness unsettles their complacency. And if you're not careful, you'll start dimming your light just to keep others from squinting. But you weren't called to make others comfortable, you were called to make a difference, and difference. Makers don't shrink, they rise, they disrupt, they elevate every room they enter, not by being loud, but by being aligned. Too many people have been taught to believe that humility means hiding, that success should be downplayed, that confidence should be silenced. But true humility is not denying your power, it's acknowledging the source of your power. There's a difference between arrogance and authority. You're not arrogant because you know you're chosen. You're not prideful because you've accepted your assignment. You've been anointed for impact, and that anointing doesn't need approval. Stop apologizing for being gifted. Stop minimizing what makes you unique. You were never meant to blend in, you were born to stand out. You have no obligation to shrink for the comfort of those who refuse to grow. You don't have to make yourself small to fit into spaces you've already outgrown. That old circle, that old system, that old mindset, it served its purpose, but now it's too tight. And just like a snake sheds its skin to keep growing, 5,555, you must shed the need for acceptance to step into your assignment. You cannot lead while begging to be liked. You cannot soar while dragging the weights of other people's opinions. The cost of your calling is discomfort, but it's also freedom, and freedom is always worth it. When you walk in your truth unapologetically, two things will happen. The wrong people will leave, and the right people will find you. Your light will attract those who are also ready to rise. You will no longer have to shrink to be seen. You'll start shining because you were never meant to be hidden. The stage isn't too big for you. The opportunity isn't too much. The favor on your life isn't too heavy. You've just been hanging around people who couldn't handle your weight. But that changes when you stop trying to fit in and start standing in your full stature. And as you rise into that stature, something beautiful begins to happen. You stop waiting for doors to open, and you start building them. You become the access point for others. You become the inspiration you once searched for. But in order to lead like that, you've got to conquer one more thing that silently kills more dreams than failure ever could: the paralyzing need to feel ready before you act. Success doesn't show up wrapped in comfort, it demands sacrifice. You will never rise while holding tightly to what's easy. To become who you are called to be, you must be willing to lay down who you used to be. That means releasing the excuses that have cradled your fears. That means walking away from distractions that masquerade as entertainment. That means silencing voices, even your own, that keep you stuck in safe zones while destiny is calling you into the deep. Success doesn't come to the most talented or the most gifted. It comes to those who are willing to pay the price, the ones who keep going when it hurts, the ones who keep building when no one's clapping, the ones who choose discipline over distraction. You can't be casual about your calling and expect uncommon results. There are things you will have to say no to, moments when you'll be tempted to settle, to stop, to slow down, and those are the crossroads where champions are made. You'll have to turn off the noise of convenience and turn up the volume of conviction, because your greatest threat is not opposition, it's comfort. It's the voice that says, "This is good enough," but hear this, good enough is the enemy of God's best. If you want to go higher, you've got to let go of the weight of mediocrity. The climb is steep, yes, but the view is worth every step. And while the body may tire, the real war is in your mind. Every battle you fight externally was first waged internally. It starts with the thoughts you entertain, the stories you tell yourself, the beliefs you rehearse in silence. If you don't master your mindset will master you. That's why every successful person trains their mind before they train their skills. Because without mental strength, pressure will break you before purpose can bless you. You've got to develop resilience, mental discipline, and emotional stability. When the storm comes, and it will, the only thing that will keep you standing is what's rooted in your mind. And don't expect applause while you're making sacrifices. Success requires seasons of obscurity where no one sees the sweat, the tears, or the fight. But that's where strength is forged. That's where your foundation is laid. You've got to be willing to work in silence so that your results can speak loudly. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop wishing it were easier. 66,666. Start strengthening the one thing that shapes everything else, your mind. Speak life into your day, feed your faith, starve your fear, because when your mind aligns with your mission, there's nothing you can't overcome. And once you've mastered your mindset and embraced the cost, success becomes not just something you pursue, it becomes something you embody. You start living from a place of focus, not frustration. You move with purpose, not panic. And the clearer your mind becomes, the louder your future calls. But to step into that future, there's one more truth you must grasp, one that unlocks everything. You've been chosen. You've been called, and it's time to own it. Your words carry power more than you realize. Every sentence you speak is either building your destiny or reinforcing your doubt. Too many people sabotage their future by echoing their fears. They speak more about their obstacles than their opportunities. They rehearse their failures louder than they declare their future. But you have to understand, your mouth is not just for communication, it's for creation. What you speak sets things in motion. Life and death are in the power of the tongue, and your future is waiting for you to speak life over it. It's time to change the conversation, not just with others, but with yourself. If you keep telling yourself you're not ready, you won't be. If you keep saying you're not enough, you'll start living like it. But when you shift your language, you shift your life. Start saying what you want to see, not just what you currently see. Declare victory when you feel vulnerable. Speak strength when you feel weak. Proclaim success when you're surrounded by struggle. You don't need to lie to yourself, you need to lead yourself. Leadership begins in your language. And your future self is listening to every word you say today. There's no such thing as neutral speech. You are either affirming your purpose or agreeing with your fear. You don't need to speak perfectly, you just need to speak powerfully. Speak with vision, speak with authority, speak with the boldness of someone who knows they were created for more. The most successful people didn't start with perfect circumstances. They started with a made-up mind and a mouth full of truth. They opened their mouth and declared, "I will rise, I will grow, I will overcome." And what they spoke, they began to walk into. Your environment may not believe in you. The people around you may doubt you. But if your own voice joins the choir of negativity, what chance do you have? You've got to outspeak your doubt. Let your declarations be louder than your delays. Let your confessions overpower your confusion. Speak to your dreams like they are living things, because they are. Your voice gives them breath. Your voice stirs them awake. Start speaking like you've already won. Start talking like the doors are already opening. Because when you speak destiny, destiny starts responding, and once your words are aligned with your vision, your actions will follow, your faith will rise, your courage will expand, you'll stop waiting for motivation and start living on mission. This is not about hype, it's about habits. Speaking destiny is a discipline, and when you practice it daily, you train your mind to believe and your life to move. But to sustain that forward momentum, there's one more principle: you must anchor yourself in the truth that you are not alone on this journey. Let me know when you're ready to close out the speech, or if you'd like help tying all the sections together into a single powerful flow. You're crafting something truly transformative. 777. So let me leave you with this. You were born for this. Everything you need to succeed is already inside you. Your struggles, your pain, your setbacks, they were never meant to break you, but to shape you. Every battle you've fought, every sacrifice you've made, has been preparing you for this moment, for this opportunity, for this victory. The world is waiting for your greatness. It's waiting for you to rise and step into your destiny. Success isn't reserved for a few chosen ones. It's available to anyone who dares to believe, to act, and to speak with boldness. Your vision is not a pipe dream, it's the invitation to your purpose. Your words will carve your path, and your mindset will fuel your climb. You are capable of more than you've ever allowed yourself to believe. It's time to stop shrinking, to stop doubting, and to start walking in the fullness of who you were always meant to be. So speak your future louder than your fears. Declare your greatness. Know that the road won't always be easy, but with every step, you are becoming the person you were destined to be. Your dreams are not fantasies, they are instructions for your purpose. It's not about waiting for the right moment. The moment is now, the time is always now, and the truth about success is simple. Why not you? Rise up, step forward, and claim the victory that has always been waiting for you. Thank you for taking the time to listen, for opening your heart and mind to the truth about success. Remember, your journey is unique and your potential is limitless. The only thing standing between you and your greatness is the belief that you are worthy, and I hope you now know that you are. As you walk forward, carry this message with you. Success is yours for the taking. It's always been within you, and now it's time to speak, act, and live like the person you are destined to be. Take what you've heard today and let it ignite a fire in you. The world is waiting for you to rise, so go ahead, step into it. Until next time, thank you and goodbye.